Meet the group, presented by Nur ADRINAH, KHAIRUL AFFIENDY and ADRIANA BALQIS. We are present about personality, value and perception.
What is personality? Personality is the sum total of ways in which an individual reacts or interacts with other people. Personality is a combination of individual characteristics or qualities that form a distinctive character of the individual. Okay, next, there are three personality determinants. So the first one is heredity. The factors that affect is biological and physiological. An individual that resembles the parents in physical appearance and intelligence. Those factors will determine what personality an individual will get. So the second one is environment. The result of the individual personality can be affected by surrounding at home, neighborhood, or at school. Individual personality can to form an attitude according to the physical environment. This environment can determine the personality of someone. So the third one is situation. Situation of something may change the individual personality in different situations. Some individuals may have different personality at home and some have different personality at work. Let's continue to personality traits. Individual personality traits are enduring characteristics that describe an individual behavior. So there are examples of positive personality traits: being honest, loyalty, courage, and patience. So example of negative personality traits is propensity of lying, selfish, being disloyal, and full of laziness. So now we will continue to Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or another word is MBTI. MBTI is a personality test that taps 4 characteristics of individual personality check. So the first one is extroversion versus introversion. The second one is sensing versus intuition. The third one is judging versus perceiving. And the last one is thinking versus feeling. So those 4 types of individual personality check will determine what are the types of person is this. Okay, next we will continue with major personality attributes influencing OB. There are 8 major personality. The first one is locus of control. An individual that believe they are the one who master their own fate. In locus of control, there are 2 types, which is internal and external. The second one is Machiavellism, or another word is MAC. Individual that can maintain emotion distance and believe they can achieve their dreams. The third one is Narcissism, an individual's tendency to be arrogant and self-important. The fourth one is self-esteem. Individual degree of liking and disliking themselves or other person. The fifth one is self-monitory. Individual that can measure other personality in different situation factors. The sixth is risk-taking. There are 2 types of risk-taking. The first one is high risk-taking manager and low risk-taking manager. The seventh one is personality type. There are 2 types of personality. Which is types A and types B. Types A is always feel impatient at most events that take place, and types B is a person who play fun and relax in doing their job. So the last one is proactive personality. Individual who identify opportunities, take action, and always change their characters in different and positive environment. We will continue about person job fit theory scenario case. Okay, the scenario is Aiman works at BTG company in Kuala Lumpur. He was a very hardworking and dedicated person. He loved to work with using thinking and understanding in work. Due to his behavior in his work, he can't stay focused and cannot follow the order from his manager at the company. At the end, he resigning because he cannot continue to work at the company. So the solution for this scenario is Aiman should choose a right occupation based on his personality. If he is someone who prefers activity that involve thinking and understanding work, then he should work as a news reporter or a medical teacher in school. Person organization fit theory. The scenario case is Miss Charlie has worked with SHAIR company for about 2 years. He felt that he does not comfortable to work at the company anymore. He always argued with his manager that he wants to leave the company because it does not fit with his personality. Because of that, he has negative consequences such as high turnover and have low job satisfaction. So the solution of this scenario is, as a manager, we should study and investigate about employees' personality first before select a new employees. By matching a right personality with the right company, employees can stay commitment to the company as long as they have a high job satisfaction.
So right now I will explain about the value. Okay, what is the value? Value according to sociologists is a generic and with the undertones of rightness, goodness, or inherent desirability. It's referred to long-held cultural view about the what is the good or bad, desirable or undesirable, and desire. The history of the value is, in his book Organizational Behavior, Zainal Arifin defines value as a set of views about certain things that are essential to us as individuals. Value system. The value system is a hierarchy based on the intensity or desirability of an individual's value. For me, I have my own hierarchy system. First is God, second is my lovely family, third is my education, and the last one is love. How about you? Next is importance of value. Value are becoming more important as a topic of conversation in management as ethical conduct become more visible in the workplace. First one is provide understanding of the attitudes, motivation, and behavior of individual and cultures. Second is influences our perception of the words around us. Third is represent interpretations of right and wrong. And the last one, it is the implies the some behavior or outcome are preferred over the others. Next, types of value. Let me explain first. People's value tend to influence the types of decision they make, how they view, how their surrounding, and their actual conduct. People stay in a firm for a variety of reasons, and if an organization does not assist them in achieving their ideas, they are most likely to leave if they are dissatisfied with the job itself. Rockage divide the value into two types, which is terminal value and the instrumental value. Terminal value are the most desirable to human, and instrumental value are view of how human desire should be achieved. The most significant or desire and state of life is called a terminal value. Happiness, self-respect, recognition, inner peace, leading a successful life, and professional excellence are among them. The idea on the permissible technique of behavior to accomplish the terminal objective are discussed in instrumental value. Honestly, sincerity, acne, and ambition are examples of these qualities. So, I will give you the example of terminal value scenario. The situation, Afi worked at the TT company. He is very friendly employee at his workplace. Due to his overly kind attitude, he was always bullied by all employees in the department he worked for. In the end, he thought of resigning because he couldn't stand this attitude of some of the workers there. So, for the solution, as a manager, I must instill in myself terminal value like as a comfortable life. I should encourage my employee to continue with the company and offer him a position in another department. Then, if he still want to go, I as the boss must respect his decision. Instrumental value scenario. This situation, Sufyan had been employed with the TT company for over 3 years. He had grown so accustomed to his position and had become a slacker in his duty. His work performance was decreased of this, so the solution is, as a manager, I need to instill instrumental value in myself such as self-control. If my employees does not complete their work, I will must discipline them and issue a warning. Then I must take a responsibility and be aware of my employees' issue that cause them to become inactive.
Today I will explain about perception. What is perception? Perception is defined as awareness, judgment, or understanding about something. It also attaches sensory such as involvement, both of organizing, environment, and some action in response as part of situation or stimuli. As we know, every human have perception. Perception of among employee is also important in using to form up something like decision or achieve some company related by objective, mission, or visions. The philosophy by Kant, 1787/1788, he said that perception is neither veridical nor valid in the strict sense of the words. These properties of the things is itself remain indeterminate in any empirical sense. Besides, from attitude, behavior, interest, experience of employee become resources of being perception which occurs in organization company. Example of this, when employee cooperation with good workers and good environment, result of the job will be satisfied and admirable in around of organizations. Perception are also available on negative part among employee by unsatisfied environment that used in organizations. Example of negative perceptions, being stereotyping against an employee. Managers who have this behavior and adopt toxic trait among the worker is become one of problem in organizations. And organization of company mostly use this perception error toward to employee because with that way, they will reach of successful and achievement in organizations. As we see, this action is wrong and leak of ethical around of worker. Next, we go to the role of perceptions. They have a three aspect can alter influence how things can be watched. Every individual has their own view from everyone who sees it. From example, they have three types employee from one company. Type 1, he can do works but slow in handle job. Type 2, he can do work and fast to finish the job. And type 3, he can do work but he did not do the jobs. Second, they start to dispute and curiosity about that situations. We focus on the type 3, why he can do the work but he did not do the job. Does he have a problem discipline in organizations, or does he did not like to work, or does he lazy persons? Lastly, start to stimulate judgments or opinion towards employee. We will start have to instinct. Some answer can be the prejudice towards that employee, or the sum of it admit that employee have problem, discipline, etc. This is how perception progress in toward to someone. Previously, I have mentioned that perception errors are valid in situation of perceptual. I will explain more about perception errors. It include selective perceptions. Management is important element in organization. It is also have effect on workplace perception and conflict issues. When it involves someone who in problem with one another, like manager who hands up the work because he didn't like to cooperation with that employee causes of the bad story or misunderstanding attitude, it might be a problem even he can do the work. This is unmentioned decision because manager have selective perception based on background toward that employee. Secondly is halo effects. The halo effects is when one trait of person or things is used to make an overall judgment of that person or thing. For example, the manager have instead of the lazy employee, it will be probably showing up late or missing deadline and otherwise underperforming compared to other employee peers. Lastly is self-serving bias. It's not fair when some manager do bias to the worker who have own privileged image. Self-serving bias is mostly happen when management hire to the new employee. The job applicant believe that they have qualification, achievement, and excellent interview. But interviewer eliminated the interviewee because of they don't have a nice personality or he come from underprivileged family. The relationship between employee to organization or manager will better when both parties have connection and understandable about a job. A good perception will create a positive working, while a negative perception will give impact to the company performance and the employee. It includes number 1, bad management style, number 2, feeling burnout, number 3, negative workplace gossip on employees, number 4, influencing to non-acceptance, turnover, or unsatisfying job among employee, number 5, stressing environment. Here are some key components that related into a good employee perception that are involved in management. Communication is the key. Communication is important aspect to reach goal of successful. Without communications, it will not makes sense if any not communicated to the audience of management. Employee and manager need to know how the organization works. It's easier to understand about method that using in organization and how they transfer contribute with clearer explanation. The second is empower toward employee. Empowerment is the best way to engage employee by offering opportunities for fresh ideas and making them feel heard. When employees feel have agency who taking toward in decision making, they feel aligned to organization and arise to tend to grow loyalty toward organizations. Number 3 is happiness employee. The best way to boost empower an employee is include happiness vibe in organizations. A positive management or environment does not help improve the relations, but it also improve level happiness of the workers, impact their performance. Lastly, barriers limit between employee and management. Management need to more open and more understanding among the employee. Manager also need briefing to the employee about boundaries around the organization so that they better understanding what do's or don'ts require among the company. In this way, they still on the gap but still respect on each other in professional way toward the job.